Hi y'all. How y'all doing? Out in the world, universe, nation. Alright. What I'm about to share with you guys are real events of me going to the spiritual realm in heaven. And I was listening to tarot. I listened to many things in order to understand my purpose as now the new queen of the 12 gates. So it was talking about a new job, new job. I already knew that God gave me the keys months ago, and I'm able to see things. I'm ahead of my time. I was not supposed to have woken up so early, but ooh, sorry y'all for y'all that they do not want this to come out. But it was God's divine timing. It was my timing to be woken up because when you reincarnated, everything they was preparing for me to not wake up, but I woke up early uh prior. And this is how I know, because when I got into a disagreement with my partner at the time, who's related to who's friends with French Montana, that he sent in to portray my partner or whatever the case may be, to gang stalk me, Rico, me, cast spells, all of that other shit. You know what I'm saying? When I kicked him out, well, when I got into an argument and kicked him out, I could hear my neighbors say, "Oh no," like it was a disruption in the process. Like it wasn't supposed to happen. Listen, I'm able to hear, I'm able to see, like feel. It's amazing how God has blessed me, right? So I'm not familiar with the Holy Bible, not like that, but it was a young woman in my position that has been dethroned, right? So I'm able to telepathically speak to the high priest, the lay schools of the universe, ancestors, the dead, like the living things of I have never even been able to communicate with. Even the four horsemen, like that's unleashed. Even Satan, I'm able to telepathically communicate and give my orders, give my commandments, and send them to their wrath, etc., etc. So I'm listening to, I can't remember her name. I'm gonna put her name down below. And I made videos prior to things that was going, like God's wrath, judgment. I knew the months. God did tell me the day when judgment was going to first take place, and I was afraid, y'all. This is my beginning stages of my awoken, me being awoke, and it's like it just happened. It will be a year, January 21st, that I've been awoken or whatever. So it's like I had to play catch up. I had to learn a lot of shit at a small window of time. But I've always been that way. I work well under pressure. I'm more hands on than learning from books. That's just how I learn. So y'all, so I'm listening to the tarot, and she said, you have a new job. You have a new job. It's gonna be in cars, and it's gonna be in music. It's gonna be in this. So by me being a Renaissance woman, I'm able to, like in real time, I'm able to do multiple jobs at one time. So I'm like, okay, this message had to be for me because I didn't click on it. I didn't type, well, I clicked on it, but I didn't type it in. But I was listening to something prior, and that one came up next, and I just pressed play or whatever because I was preparing my food. Y'all, stuff she was saying, I already knew. So she was saying that people that has been there, that have experienced 30 years. Of course, 30 years is not 30 years compared to us. Every day is considered 365 days of a day, not of a year, but every day is considered 365 days. So just think about light years and all that other stuff. We are not living in real time. Y'all already know that. Those that don't know, we're not. So So I'm like, okay, 30 years plus. And she said it was a board of men. So I started thinking John Wick, high priest, the high priest. You know, it's real high priest of the heavens. It's high priest of Satan hell too. Satan heaven. It's high priest of the lay schools. Those are the beings of the universe and space. It's high priest and ancestors. Like it's high priest and you see it in government with the president of the United States, of the mayors in each state, y'all. So my mind started going. I'm like, where is she going at? And you know, God already my high God already know I'm the one that figures stuff out. I have the way I think like Denzel Washington, how my nose itching y'all, how he can put together everything like an equalizer, man on fight. That's really how my mind go. Like I'm able to like it's like I'm standing still in the middle of a room and I can just scan the room and tell you how the fuck you did it, when you did it. Like I've it's like amazing. And before I got awoken, you know, I was able to prophesize to people what was going on in their life, and we would sit up here and be crying. You know, they was gang stalking me, but I started healing people, right? And I didn't know that I was being gang stalked at the time, and set up as a pawn to be killed. But I actually flipped the tables, man. When I say I stopped putting two and two together, I said, hold up. I was like, you know, I how I do things. I said, God, do I have your permission to do this? Do I have your permission? You know, of course, God Almighty is who I consult to, but there are higher rankings than I am, even though that I have the final say so. So I said, you know, high priest, do I have a green light to go ahead? And they was like, no. So I listened to her message. She said they are not gonna like it. They are not gonna like it. In the back of my mind, I could hear Dad like laugh, like, "Yeah, she about to tear y'all asses the fuck up." But you know, he was just testing me, and still everything is still a test. It's up to me to to determine if I want if I'm able to figure it out. And I'm looking at something outside my window. It's like I can see a wolf's face, freaking sheep's and wolves clothing still in heaven, y'all. So listen, when I asked the lace skulls, the ancestors, everybody said yes except for like 3 million, not 3 million, it's three, I kept getting yeah, 3 million high priests, but the three head in charge, they was like, no, no. Everybody else, the other high priest was like, yes. These particular ones was like, no, we know, no, no, no. So again, I began to scan heaven. Like we sitting in God's office at this time. Like God is like we sitting on clouds. So, you know, his chair is in the middle and his everyone is on I'm facing God, everyone is on the right of him. I mean the left of him with me facing, and of course it's the right if he's behind me or whatever, or if I'm behind him, everything's to the right. So mind you, pay attention. Left represents God, the right represents Satan. And I'm going somewhere with this. So by them being on the right hand side, I knew that it was inside help. Like it was inside help, excuse me, for me to be attacked. It was inside help for a lot of earth angels to be attacked, because why? They know God's secrets, some of his secrets. They know who the chosen ones are. They know who, you know, the ones that were supposed to be woken up. They know, you know, they sent people in, demons. They was working with Satan the whole time. They sent them in to infiltrate, to destruct, to gain knowledge. Because I'm telling you guys, had I not been woken up, and I'm sure it's for other people, but other angels, but had I not been woken up, it would have caused, let's just say Satan would have had an upper hand in God's kingdom. I know it sounds crazy. God still would have been God, but Satan would have had some type of authority pull over God. I can't explain it, but it would have been like a serious battle. Would say they would have kind of like overruled the heavens. Let's just say that he would have came on top. But I kept saying it was you. It was you. You did this. And y'all, when I say I started dethroning, depowering, rebuking them out of out of heaven, I said, no, it's a new change. It's a new because I'm the queen of the lambs of God. This is where, God when God came to me in urgency, January 21st with my six angels at the time. I met Gabe. It was my high ranking angels, even Archangel Michael. I didn't even know those were my angels, y'all. Megatron, and like I share stories of how God looked like Julius Caesar when he came to me, hair real black and curly, and he's on my left hand side telepathically giving me the rundown as my angels turned into fairies who came through my window in my bedroom in DC, and they turned into fairies and started whipping on the holy divine immaculate full armor of the Holy Spirit on me. And they was moving lightning fast, and it was just different events. How I would hear a sword come out of the sword holster and shit like that. So anyway, let's get back to it. So when I started dethroning them, I'm like, nah, it's time to clean house. And mind you, I kept saying, clean house, street sweep, clean house. And I would literally go to my window. It was like divine time. I would go to my window. I would see a Mercedes Benz car. I'm gonna tell you, I'm going to a Mercedes Benz too. I would see a Mercedes Benz car, and I would see street cleaner. I would see a trash truck. I would see a dump truck. Like, and it was like certain logos that they would have. Greenhouse, clean house, greenhouse, clean house. You know what I'm saying? It was certain slogans or a food truck with children on it, like we are the people to provide for the children. It was something like that, and I'm prophesizing this in real time. So what I'm saying is actually what how I've been feeling for even when I was a child. I've always wanted to help and give back and help overpower this corrupt world with greatness. So anyway, y'all, Mercedes, right? I know my bloodline is connected to Mercedes. My fake Earth father, Earth parent, demonic parent, Pharaoh, Calvinite. He was a mechanic, and I've always loved working on cars. I love old school cars, old school cars. So y'all, when the young lady was telling the story, she was like, in the car business, you the one, it's only you. It's only you. It's time for a change. It's going to be a female that's going to be in a male predominant world. Female in a male predominant world. Government. Government. President. Government. Ruler of the world. Listen, POTUS. And I kept saying, and Lotus, like I keep saying, seeing lotuses, and I kept saying Lotus, POTUS, POTUS, Lotus. Like it was all these synchronicity signs that I was getting, right? And I prophesied this years ago. I said, I'm going to be the new president. I'm going to, heal the world. Those that accept God, it's only going to work for you. Like drugs, I'm going to overcome evil with good. Is I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Like, it's going to not be like how Tyson's have their food business. No, it's like we're going to all build this nation together. Like, if I'm the head, my honcho, but you can branch out and do things for your family. Your family could do things for themselves. Like it's not you only helping me build my legacy. You want to also build your legacy. You want to also make a name for yourself. You know what I'm saying? You want to also do this, do that. It's not just one particular me. You know what I'm saying? It's like we all going to collectively do this. You all going to be creative in your own thing. You all going to take recognition for the creativity of your work. It's not going to be like, oh, Shakana Glory jewelry only. No. If I'm fronting the money, whatever, however it works out. So it's like if I bought Hanes, it's not going to be Sharkana Hanes. It's going to be your name on it. If I'm pushing the money, that people don't need to know what it is unless you want them to know. That's just how I see stuff, y'all. Listen, I have an amazing vision. Even with the cars, y'all. Y'all remember them old school station wagons? Our family had one. Growing up around Edgewood back in the 1980s and stuff like that. Y'all, I seen a vision of me re uh, putting together a newer model, but with the old school features, how it had the handheld gears that you pull with your right hand or whatever, or left hand. Like, y'all, I see myself making old school cars, bringing back old school cars, but with a modern twist. Y'all, I see myself building like places for less fortunate people. Even children that has been abused in that's the orphans, like places like that, y'all. I see myself having endless land where animals roam free. They not caged up. They not anything. If they want to be, a pet to you, they would choose you, not nobody choosing the pets. And they still not gonna be caged. Like it's I'm going somewhere with that, y'all. So with that being said, man, I'm making history, and I will be nothing without God Almighty Jesus Christ. You don't understand. I had to walk through many lives that y'all wouldn't even imagine going through. Many lives in order for me to understand my job here on earth. So I'm blessed. I'm amazed. Listen, even my family, fake karmic family, even my sister that I love so dearly, they have done a lot of damage, and they have to do the time. They have to right their wrongs. My sister and her children will right their wrongs, but Calvin Knight, and it's not looking so good for my brother Calvin Weldon either. That's another story. A lot of people like Calvin Knight, he's done. Like Calvin Knight, Larry Scurry, like these high ranking wizards, warlocks, gatekeepers that has continuously killed people innocent, did child grooming, Pizzagate, child rape, molestation, child torture with the castaway type acronym. I know I'm not pronouncing it correctly, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Where they torture children and they release some type of chemical in their body, which the demons love because it gives them power. Man, listen, it's all return to sender. And I'm gonna keep stepping on your necks in the almighty name of Jesus. Like, this shit is real. I don't care what the fuck you say. I don't care what you feel. Whatever energy you bring my way, it's gonna be sent back to you. I'm matching energies around here. I'm chin checking everybody, and I don't care. You could astral project to me in my dreams to try to cause confusion. You ain't doing nothing but digging a bigger hole for yourself. A bigger hole for yourself, y'all. So you're free will, but just know we already won. We already won, and I had Satan come to me and submit his authority to me, and it's like, no, my dad was here before I was. You gotta bow down to my father. The heck with me. Bow down to my dad. Like, you owe him everything. He gave you authority. You was the uh angel of music. And speaking of angel of music, I'm the new angel of music, y'all. I'm the new angel of many, like, it's like everything you could possibly think of, like all the angels of like strength, power, understanding. It's like I'm all that in one. I'm like the mega angel, if that makes sense. And I'm not saying this out of cockiness. I'm like the mega angels, like how they had the lichens and the vampires, and how Michael was the only one with that rare special combine, hybrid combinants. That's how I am. It's like bits and pieces of Lucifer, bits and pieces of Lilith, Jezebel, God's top angels. Like, it's like a mixture. all in one. Sorcery. I'm psychic. You know, at first I was like, I'm not psychic. That's demonic. It's really not. If you use it for demonic, your demonic, if you use your blessings for demonic ways, then that's where we draw the line. But it's not even going to be any of that. It's not going to be no sorcery. You ain't going to be able to do no sorcery at all. None of that. No, nobody paying you to read tarot, like none of that, because we already have our own hidden powers. We have to seek God for everything, not man, not any of that stuff. It's not gonna be any of that. Solomon Gomorrah, none of that shit. Like you gonna turn into pillars of ashes. Same sex, any of that bestiality. It's not gonna be any of that shit. Like it's gonna be peace on earth, but with a modern twist. Of course, you want to still drink a little bit socially. You still want to be able to do marijuana socially, and even to the drugs. The drugs that's going to be here is to clean this nation, because the stuff that's out there is poison. It has witchcraft and all this other negative demonic shit attached to it. So everything is strategically happening for a reason. And I also had, going back to my children, I had a situation, I've seen it before, where my great niece and my great nephew was an earth angel. At the age of, he was like maybe 3 months old. No, I'm not gonna say 3 months. He was like 6 months old, right? So they was traveling from Tennessee, and my son and I picked him and his mom up. My niece Weeda from Union Station, train station in DC. So he had a car seat. We trying to put him in a car seat and hurry up because the trains, I mean, the buses are coming. Trains, some had to do with train. Trans, Euro, Express, like we should clean the house. So he was like, my arm, y'all. When I say, he said it so clear, my arm, but his arm was twisted. He's so busy looking at me like I've never seen her before. Like he was so amazed with me, and like it was like funny, and I was like, what is he looking at? Like, why is he looking at me like that? My niece was like, I don't know, but she was into some witchy shit. She knew what the fuck her son was into. This is before I was even woke, y'all. So it was like he was like a whiz kid. And shout out to you, Marquise Weldon. My nephew can rap. Okay, he was rapping at the age of like 1, 2 years old. I'm talking about rapping. And I told you my dad is Marvin Gaye. So man, listen, that boy is a whiz kid. No disrespect to my other great nephew Messiah. He's a very intelligent child as well, but he is a GMC child, genetically mechanical child, that has fallen angel chromosomes within his body, and his parents are on the dark side. So, you know, God and the angels is working with him, but I don't know if he will make it. And that's just the honest, the God truth. Y'all will see things that's going to happen in real time where children are not really children, they are demons, demonic kids. And I'm saying this from experience because I witnessed. It was like Marquise was a good one, and the other children was like straight demon children. And I'm not going to say I favor him more, but I was more understanding to him because he was the black sheep. And of course, he was the firstborn of my niece. So it was a lot of pressure on his back. He's being cursed at, you know, talked to. He was always getting shit, you know, and I seen that. I seen his behavior because I once lived it. So I took to him more and tried to build him up because he did not have his father. His father and all of them are on the dark side. You know what I'm saying? But it's generational curses that need to be broken, y'all. Listen, I can't make this shit up. I am going to do whatever it takes to heal this world. So I remember they came to me in the spiritual realm. Like I seen everyone getting locked up, and they was like, "Can you take my children?" And I was like, "No, like I'm still working on me. I'm still working on me." And that's the thing. I've always put others before me. It's like I gotta prepare my shit. I gotta prepare myself first before I can be right for anybody else? How can I take on more responsibilities if I'm not dealing with my own ancestral curses or understanding my purpose? So at the time, I said, no, I'm not taking nobody's children. So my kids, I had a dream about him and his brother, and just many dreams that I've had with last night. What's today? Monday the what? It's the 12th. No, Tuesday the 20th. So the 19th is when the wee hours of the 20th is when I had prophetic gifts. I call them scripts in the movie, y'all. So I said to say, man, buckle up. Some shit is going to all take off. It's going to be an amazing experience, and I am honored to be the one to be used as God's vessel to warn the world, to prophesize, to, enlighten, to help heal this world. I'm so honored, and shout out to the other chosen ones. Shout out to everyone that is also overcoming their evil ways with good. That's all God wants you to do, is to bring to Him and Him only. So shout out to you all, and keep doing an amazing job, and fix your crowns, guys, because shit is about to get ready to take off. Peace out.